Hi, I'm Michelle Rowan, President of Franchise Business Review, and today I'm talking with Chuck Cassidy, who is a franchisee in Virginia Beach, Virginia, with Buzz Brands as the parent company, and he is operating a British swim school. So, Chuck, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to start with tell me what were you doing before you joined the franchise system? What were you doing for work? And we'll just start there.
Sure, sure. My my career has been with the United Methodist Church. I have been serving the church for almost 30 years, doing youth ministry and pastoral care and hospitality and missions and wore all kinds of hats. I'm originally from Virginia Beach. Fortunately, I was able to do my work with the church at a couple larger Methodist churches here in the Virginia Beach area, and I still currently have a toe in that world. I still am involved. So Virginia Beach United Methodist Church, yay! And I'm still here. Um, and one of the things that I think that kind of lead into this was, the whole idea of the British Swim School mission of saving lives. And the mission is so strong there. And of course, that kind of ties into my work I do at the church is helping people and giving them opportunities to learn and to grow and making that a pleasant and pleasing environment. And the whole model of British Swim School just fit that perfectly.
So that's amazing. So thank you for all the work that you are doing through the ministry and in your community. But I always want to get at kind of like, how did you stumble upon franchising, or why were you looking to expand outside of the work? I'm sure the church keeps you very busy,
Sure.
but kind of how did you stumble upon it? Were you familiar with franchising in general, or?
Well, I kind of watched it from afar. I had an uncle, he's deceased now, he was part of the Amco transmission franchise, and he had several shops in the Richmond, Virginia area. So I had always watched that, even though I wasn't part of that, or my mom and dad were not involved in that. But he was very successful with that as a small businessman, and that was very unique to watch that business grow. So it was always in the background, so to speak. Um, Several years ago, I started looking just out of curiosity at, what did it take to have your own small business? What franchises were successful? And I just would kind of peek every once in a while. I knew I didn't want to change transmissions out of cars. And that was not my area, but I knew my strong suit was hospitality and working with people. And I began to look at that. And of course, I think a lot of folks in my um, area of hospitality and working with people gravitate towards restaurants. So I had come across a very strong restaurant franchise that was not in the Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. And I thought, well, maybe that's something. And when I would visit this franchise, which is in another state, I would always think, I need to look into this. I need to look into this. So I began to look into it and realized what it took to make that happen, and really strongly felt that I needed to bring that operation to the area. And then I came across British Swim School because I'm very good friends with a person that works at Buzz Franchise Brands in marketing, Chip Hall, and he said, just take a look at this. And that was about a year and a half ago. And he kept saying, look at this. This is good. This fits you. It's mission. It's saving lives, just like you kind of do in the church. And it's a neat thing. So that began the discussion.
Yeah, I love it. So Chip deserves a commission on that one.
Exactly. And then he can take me to lunch multiple times.
Yeah, and a shout out to the Richmond area. My sister and my parents are in Midlothian. So
There you go.
Yeah. So okay, so let's talk about what was it like, especially because you continue doing your work with the church as you started your franchise. What was that transition like for you? What do you remember was hard about it, or challenging about it, or how did you juggle both priorities?
Well, my two children are grown, so they're in college basically. So I didn't have that pull to attend all their events local and do everything a dad does with smaller children. So I had more free time. Um, I realized that, I was going to have to be very diligent with time management, meaning that things like the Zoom call, There are things like a Zoom call, detailing my agenda out for the day and trying to find, of course, even though I don't have children that are at home, finding work and family balance was important, and how I was going to do that. Of course, I think a lot of people think the church just operates on Sunday morning and then it's done, but this is a larger church, operates all week long. It has a lot of outreach, mission, programming. So I had to be very careful in how I approached that. I was able to balance the two. The swim school concept was basically starting, and in understanding it may grow into morning classes and things like that. But right now it was built around late afternoon when children were out of school, and evenings, which gave me the flexibility to do this and launch this and be able to keep my work. It's growing phenomenal, and Buzz has been incredible in their support and encouragement. And there will come a day where I will have to make a choice, because there's only one of me and there's only X amount of hours, and I can't be at two places at once. But right now it's a good life work balance. But I just have to really be better and continue to be better at the time management and the organization piece.
Yeah, I think that's a strong skill set for most that we're always working on.
Yeah.
So do you have any employees, Chuck, or is it just you that's running the show right now?
Now I have 3 aquatics instructors. I have a lead aquatics instructor and 2 aquatics teachers, instructors, and the lead helps in a lot of ways. Her position continues to grow as I delegate more and more to her. That is a skill I've learned a long time ago doing church work. You work with a lot of volunteers and some staff, but you learn to delegate so all can share. And that's something that I do with my lead. I've given her more and more responsibility, and that has really helped. But in this concept with British Swim School, you need to basically be prepared to start out with 2 instructors, in my opinion. I did the aquatics training so I could be an instructor, but you need somebody there on the pool deck, and you need someone in the pool, and that requires at least 2. And then you have the administrative piece, the business side. So I'm able to do most of the what we call deck ambassador, being on the pool deck while the instructors are in the pool and do administration. But as it's grown greatly, more and more of the administration I've been sharing with my lead. And then eventually I'm going to have to spend more time with both of us doing that.
Yeah. Okay, good. So you're kind of thinking about how you scale it then.
Exactly.
So it sounds like you saw your uncle running a franchise, and it sounds like you kind of really did your work on this and understanding. Is there anything that you wish that you knew before buying into the franchise that you think would help someone that's contemplating making that leap?
Well, I think I learned this quickly because of Chip and getting to meet the folks at Buzz, that I'm very fortunate to have a very strong support system from the franchisor. They are behind me, from marketing to, the leadership development to training to all of that. And I was very fortunate that I walked right into that. And I think if I were to look at something else, or if I hadn't settled on Buzz, looking at other companies, I would have had to make sure that they really stand behind the franchisee, that they really do offer the support, because that's critical. And it's critical, and Buzz understands this, or British Swim School understands this well, that this is a brand, and it's a national brand, and it wants it wants to have good, strong integrity, no matter what British Swim School you go to, that it's going to have consistency, and it's going to be sharp and to the point, and do well and present a good image. So that's important if you're looking at any franchise, that you have people behind you that are going to uphold the brand across the board. For instance, I had a family come from Florida, and were very excited when they were a Navy family, and they came here with the US Navy, and they said, "Oh, British Swim School, we had them in Florida." Mm-hmm. And they knew the brand, they trusted the brand, and we were basically another branch of the brand they saw us as. And they they saw the same consistent marketing, the same materials, the same lessons. So it's important that you have a strong foundation behind you in the franchisor that they're going to give you that support.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
How about the franchise community? How connected are you with other franchise owners, or how much do you interact with them as far as helping you run your business or answer questions?
They've been very good. Another fellow that launched the same time I did, basically in the late fall. We've chatted several times about just the glitches and things that trying to open a new business in a new territory. British Swim School is brand new to Virginia Beach, so I had to really work a lot on marketing. And the other franchisees out there have given conference calls on marketing. They've shared their own personal experience because they're in the field and they know exactly what you're struggling with. They may have been through it. It may be somewhat new to them because each location is somewhat unique, but they really gave a good perspective on that. And that's been something that Buzz as well has helped us integrate together, so we can share field experience because you learn so much. So that, yes, talk to your other, the other franchisees, understand what's going on in their territory. They, rather than reinvent the wheel, they may already have a very good solution to that.
Yeah, and I think being able to tap into other business owners that are running the same business as you is one of the most powerful parts of being part of a franchise system. So whether your franchisor is facilitating that and helping you connect is a great thing to look for as you evaluate a brand.
Exactly. It's like a good umbrella around you, and you can
Yeah.
just reach out to those folks.
Yeah. So for a lot of people that we talk to, when they are looking to buy a franchise, I think the hardest question for them to get at is, how much money can I make?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone to try and get at that information, or how important is that before they invest?
Well, if you think you're going to get rich quick, that is, it would be wonderful. Maybe it happens for some people, but I realized early on that it takes hard work and dedication, and you have a group franchisor behind you that's helping you grow and develop. It just is going to take time. So be prepared. I'm not a Boy Scout, but I know that's their motto: be prepared. And make sure you have ready reserves of cash that you can use to invest. Don't expect, at least be conservative in expectations on what you are going to recoup and what revenue is going to come through as profit quickly. It takes time to, especially if you're opening a brand that is brand new to the area and no one has heard about. It just takes time for people to get to know it. Spend it on marketing, get the word out of who you are. But patience is a virtue. That's not just coming from my church work, but it really is a virtue to be patient and realize it takes time. Spend the time and energy in developing it, but be prepared with that backup of, this will maybe take a little more money on my part, and it will take a little bit of time for me to see some revenue.
Yeah.
It's
like
I wish
construction
everyone
projects, just plan for more money, plan for more time, and then you could be pleasantly surprised.
Exactly. That's a perfect way to put it. And I've been very fortunate. It's been profitable, but it's not something that I could just say, oh, everything's great and rosy, and I'm making this large 6-digit salary over a 2-month or 3-month period. It just takes some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about this is a question, just you had mentioned the importance of marketing, especially when you're in a new market. Going through this last year with COVID and how it impacted all of business, did you pull back on marketing or did you stick with it?
No, on one of the conference calls that Buzz actually put together for us, to hear from another franchisee, and in the I think it was in the New Jersey area, northern New Jersey area, he said what he did, and he had been in operation for several years, because it was a newer brand there. He said, I know it's hard to watch all that money go to marketing, but you have to spend what they tell you to, well, you have to kind of agree to the marketing budget they set before you, but you need to go above that. So I took that to heart. When I sat down and looked at my figures, I allocated more money to marketing than was recommended. And it was a very successful investment. it's often, I think, from what I understand, and I understand this from other folks, a realtor told me this a while back, that a lot of real estate agents are shy somewhat on spending marketing money to get word out about their real estate for sale. And he really pushed that one of the critical things, at least in their world, is you have to market and get the word out to people, or they're not going to know you have a product. You're not going, they won't know if you have a piece of real estate for sale. And it is hard to watch that money go out the door, but it's also rewarding to see folks call, or when they call you or email you and say, hey, I got a postcard in the mail, or I saw this on a Google search, or, I saw this in a magazine. It really, you begin to see the benefit of that investment, as marketing is so critical to get your name out there and let people know what you're doing.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, so one last question. Anything that we missed, or any advice that you would give to a franchisee in their first year of business?
Well, I think we hit two of them: patience, and just, it takes time, it takes effort. It's probably not going to be a quick turnaround to great profit. So just be patient, work hard at it. And we mentioned marketing because that was one of the things I really felt strongly. I'm going to be doing a call with some other brand new inquiries about British Swim School, and tell them the same advice I got: spend in marketing. And just look at this as a long view. Don't look at it as a short view. Think about where you want to be a year from now. And at first I thought, if I could just make it through this first month, oh my gosh. And then I was like, wait a minute, I've lost sense of my goal of being long-term. Where do I want this to be a year from now? How many students do I want enrolled? What kind of operation do I want? How can I get closer to that in 3 months, in 6 months, in 9 months to a year? So pace yourself. And of course, patience again. I've said that at the beginning. I said that a minute ago. You just take a deep breath, take a walk, take a breath, say a prayer. Just relax and do what you can to invest, get the word out. And I believe hard work pays good dividends, and with patience, you'll see that reward.
That's great. Well, Chuck, thank you so much for sharing your experience of finding British Swim School, and we wish you tons of success in the future.
Thank you, Michelle.